The compelling love between a mother and daughter, Naomi and Ruth, by Rukiah White. This is based on a true story and is about loyalty and love. Now, I will tell you how this story illustrates the triumph and courage and ingenuity over adverse circumstances. Ruth was a poor foreign woman who lived in Moab. Moab was a land where people prayed to many gods. However, Ruth was a very loyal person. By the way, Ruth means lovely friend. Naomi was an Israel woman who lived in Bethlehem and was married to a man named Elimelech. She had 2 children named Mahlon and Chilion. Her family then moved to Moab because of the terrible famine that occurred in Bethlehem. Shortly after, Naomi's husband died. Afterward, Naomi, wait, not Naomi Campbell. Anyway, back to the story. Naomi's sons were married to 2 beautiful Moab women named Ruth and Oprah. Wait a minute, not Oprah Winfrey, of course. Later on, her 2 sons died. This added more sadness to the women's hearts. Ruth and her stepsister, Orpah, loved their stepmother Naomi. They all went to Israel, and Naomi changed her mind all of a sudden. Naomi told the 2 to leave her and go back to their families. They both cried because they did not want to leave her. Orpah was even sadder because she made the choice to go back to her family. However, Ruth stayed. She was not leaving Naomi no matter what you told her. Ruth said, "Where you sleep, I will sleep. Where you go, I will go. Your God will be my God, and your people will be my people." So the 2 women, Naomi and Ruth, continued their journey to Israel. When they arrived to Israel, they had little or no food. Ruth had to work in the fields to provide for the 2 of them. Ruth worked extremely hard to supply food. However, they both had food after Ruth's long hours of work. The fields Ruth worked in was in Boaz's. Boaz was a very wealthy man who lived in Bethlehem. Boaz later on learned that Ruth's deceased husband was a distant relative of his. He acted kindly towards Ruth and instructed his farm workers to leave a little extra sheaves of barley for her to gather. Boaz then fell in love with Ruth and wanted to marry her so he could purchase the estate of Ruth's deceased husband. The 2 of them were married and conceived a baby. Their baby's name was Obed, which Naomi loved and took care of, the same way she did for Ruth. Ruth and Boaz were very blessed and were grandparents of a great king, King David. Naomi and Ruth were 2 very powerful women who were blessed by God. Thanks for watching. The end.